Hi beautiful people, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. My name's Heather. This is my heart side where I talk about my reading, writing and life journeys. And this is going to be my Q1 2025 physical TBR Graveyard. So these are books that were on TBRs between 2004 to about 2017. So I did go back and kind of pull books I remember as I've been rearranging my lovely shelves. So there is, I believe, 35? 36! Sorry. 36 books on this TBR Graveyard. So my plan is to use these along in my TBR because I do have the hopes of reading down my physically owned books. So I thought I would just take you through what's currently on the shelf, and if you have any strong opinions that mean I need to really up my ante and bring them up higher on my list, please let me know. And if I remember why they were on my TBRs, I'll let you know as well. Push this lovely big desk chair out of the way. So the first one is Empire of the Dam by J. Kristoff. It is the book that came out the beginning of this year in that series that I wanted to get to. And then I have One Dark Window by Rebecca Gillen. I have both of them. They were the Double Trouble book club books that I just didn't get around to reading. I have Malice by Heather Walters, which is a Sapphic Sleeping Beauty reimagining, where Maleficent and Aurora fall in love. We have Shay Earnshaw's Longer the Pumpkin Queen. This I think came up on a spooky TBR, or it was Buzzword TBR. We have Set in Stone, which was a Buzzword TBR middle grade, which is What If Arthur Wasn't Supposed to Be King. So it's like the Twisted Tales. We have a non-binary author, Miri Nipik, which is this is where it ends, which is a chronicling of a school shooting. We have Cemetery Boys by Aidan Thomas, which is a Latinx transgender story of conjuring the school bully and falling in love. We have Iron Widow by Kieran J. Zhao, which is a reimagining of the only female Chinese empress, and it's like a science fantasy thing. The second book did drop. I think this was part of a I Want to Read, or it was a representation book, along with Rory Power and Wilder Girls. This has been on several TBRs. I really just need to get a wriggle on and get to it. We have Holly Black's Darkest Part of the Forest, where we are following two twins that found a glass coffin in the woods behind their house, and there's prints in it. And then we have a historical fiction based on a true story by Meg Caddy, Devil's Balustrade. This is Mutiny, Pirates, The Bounty, and Meg Caddy is a non-binary author that I went to high school with. We have Deathless Girls, which is a reimagining of Dracula, and it's by Kieran Milt Hargreaves. They are a queer author as well, and it's just a general, I think it's like one of your most beautiful books, and it's just a standard edition. Comes up. I then have the non-fiction encyclopedia for the undead. I have the Crimson Moth by Kristen Skolaski. So witches and witch hunters and blood magic. That sounds really interesting. I have the last book in the Crimson City. I have Dreadnought, which is a transgender superhero. This came up for a Pride readathon, and also I think it was a superhero readathon I was doing. I remember. We then have The Bone Witch by Rin Chipeko. Rin Chapeko is quickly becoming a author that I really enjoy, but I've not read this. I have the whole trilogy, so I really need to know if this is worth getting to. Binding, which is a magical historical fiction by Bridget Collins. I don't know much about it. I think it's about binding. Imagine you can erase your grief. Imagine that you can forget your pain. Imagine that you can hide secrets forever. So book binding along the lines. And then we've got Everless by Sarah Holland, which is blood is money, time is power, desire is treachery, welcome to Everless. This is a really old TBR book that I really should get to. I then have the Book of Practical Witchcraft, which was a non-fiction book I had to get to. I've got Their Vicious Games by Julian Wellington. It also has a snake on the cover. So if you're looking for that prompt for the 25 and 25, that could be a good option. So it's the Everwater School is full of rich and powerful. So it's like a deadly game. This one I think was about dark academia or a book with games in it. That went on my TBR. We have The Wicked Deep by Shay Earnshaw as well. This follows a witches that was killed in a small town of Sparrow, and every year they come back and lure 3 young boys of the town to a watery death. I then have Natasha Nyon's Girls of Paper and Fire, which is a queer reimagining of basically each year 5 beautiful girls are chosen to prepare the girls to serve the king. It is the highest honour they could hope for and the most demeaning. This year there was a knight instead of pay, she's made of fire. So Lee is a member of the paper cast, the lowest cast. So I just want to get to it. And then we have A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik, which is the first book in the Scholomance series. I think this was, yet again, magical schools or dark academia. And we have a YouTube August book, which is On Wings of Ash and Dust by Brittany Wang, which is is the bind-up of her first 5 serials in this series, and we're following fae that are from different clans. So you've got a rebel pixie princess, a mute beast tamer, flirtatious merman, a half-blind artist, and a pompous princess. And they're fighting to gain the crown to rule over the whole kingdom. We then have Beyond the Ruby Veil. I think I picked up for the Double Trouble book club, and then really struggled to find book 2 for that, and then just didn't get around to picking it up because I kept going, oh, it's a short book, I can get to it. Not likely. These Violet Delights was also a retelling, but also a Double Trouble book club book by Chloe Yong, and it's 1926 Shanghai hums with true debauchery. So I also do have the second book in that. We've got Sleep Like Death, which was a Buzzwordathon TBR book, and we're following Eve as she's ready to become Queen's Sword and be her vengeance. Lessons in Vengeance, which is a Sapphic Academia by Victoria Lee, which I have not yet got to, but I did read. That was on my books I wanted to read in 2024, but I did read other Dark Academia books, so I think I just swapped it out. Another Juliet and Romeo retelling, and it is also a duology, so I think I was trying to use this for a Double Trouble book club, and that is Bright Smoke, Cold Fire by Rosamund Hodge. And then I'm going to hang my head in shame. Robin Hobb's Assassin's Apprentice. We follow Fitz, who is the bastard son of the king, and he is pulled into being the royal assassin. I've not ever read a Robin Hobb. And then we've got Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent, which is the first book in the first duology of the Crowns of Nyaxia. So it's human in a vampire world and trials. I think I got it as a YouTube Secret Santa, and I just didn't get to it this year. Finally, we have the final 4. We have Lady Macbethid, which is a historical reimagining, I think, or stuff of Lady Macbeth, but as like she was an actual person. We're following the queen who's betrayed, and she will do whatever it takes to gain her throne. That was a book club book as well as a buzzword read of character's name in the title. Ariadne, which is the Minotaur reimagining by Jennifer Saint. Didn't get to that, and that was also my in-person book club book pick that I didn't read, and a buzzword for name in the title. The final two are Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia even, sorry. And we're following a glamorous socialite who receives a frantic letter from her newlywed cousin begging her to come, and there's some, it's horror. I think I picked it up because, one, I wanted to read more horror, spooky, gothic books, as well as it won the Goodreads Choice Award. And then the final one is The Bone Shard Daughter by Andrea Stewart. And I don't remember why I picked this one up, or what TBR it got onto, but we're following the heir to the Shanghai dynasty that rules over the Phoenix Empire, and then they wield bone shard magic, but Lynn is the emperor's daughter, but she lost her status as the heir to the empire and is trapped in the palace until she learns to wield bone shard magic. So they are the 36 physical TBR Graveyard books for Q1. So hopefully I hope to read a lot of them. I might not read them in this form. I might get an ebook or I might do audio, but I physically own these, and that is one of my 2025 reading goals, is to read down my physical TBR. So if we can get most of these read, that'll be awesome. Until next time, let's use our voices to promote positive change in the world. Thank you. Bye bye.